Hello everyone, as usual it's me Pavlo and I've got for you a comfortable daily dose of Ukrainian accent. Today we are talking about new interesting earphones made by Juzear, model name Harrier. And it's a 9 drivers per side hybrid model. In each earpiece you will find one dynamic driver, 6 balanced armatures and 2 microplanar drivers. Of course, this set of drivers couldn't be cheap, but price is still pretty reasonable, $300. Manufacturer states that they used Squiglink database to tweak the sound of these earphones, so this all makes everything really interesting. Link to the shop will be in the description, and for now let's have a closer look. Box is nice, really colorful with good polygraphy. On the back side you can see technical specifications, frequency response, additional information, and inside, underneath this outer sleeve, you get a traditional, almost mandatory black cardboard box. So, nice package, nice presentation. Here's actually a pretty good case and earphones themselves. So, lot of foam, and they are wrapped in protective film from all of the sides to be sure that you won't get them scratched or damaged in some other way. So let's see what we have in the accessory set. Replaceable connector if you need Pentacon, then lanyard if you want to carry this case with you. Actually, case looks really premium here. And two different cases with sets of tips. So let's open and check them out. So two sets of different silicone. One extended set with 5 pair of sticky silicone and pair of foams. I'd say that accessory set is pretty generous and really good. In terms of design, earpieces are also really attractive. There are two color versions. One is with blue faceplates that remind some kind of marble, and second with yellow faceplates. Actually, on the photos they looked like some kind of wood, but it looks more like some amber or some mineral here. Probably camera doesn't show that, but they have really interesting three-dimensional effect of changing patterns, so really attractive. And combined with this accurate silver logo and model name, it looks really nice. Shells are made of resin. Unfortunately, they are not transparent. Probably it would be nice to see what's inside, but black resin is a classical option here. You can see a pretty big vent hole on the top, most likely for the dynamic driver. They have metal spouts with proper angle. Of course, they are really good in terms of ergonomics. They are not big and bulky. So if regular IEMs fit into your ears, this pair will most likely fit too. There is a lip for holding the tips and protective grill, so all these parts are in place. And despite of a big count of drivers inside, they remain pretty compact. So engineers did a lot of work packing all the drivers and crossover and acoustic tweaking schema inside. Cable is made replaceable. Here used 2-pin connectors, just regular 2-pin sockets that sit flush with the shell. And 2-pin connectors on the cable, so fitting nice and pretty tightly. So let me fit it properly. Here it is. Stock cable is also really nice. It has ear hooks formed, and it's traditional nowadays design with silicone-like tube insulation and braided cables inside. It's slightly thicker than usual, but at the same time it's pretty soft and with low microphonics effect, which is really nice. So at least it looks reliable. We'll see how it will behave after some long period of time, but most likely it will serve you well. There is a splitter, chin slider, and it goes twisted to this connector. So as usual, twist this part, then you can disconnect it, replace, pay attention at notch and groove, connect them together and screw this holding ring back. Nice, good, reliable way of implementing replaceable connectors. So in all exterior aspects, they really deliver a lot of value, and they looks great, feels great, and they are good in wearing comfort. In terms of tuning, we are getting here pretty engaging signature with elevated boosted bass and slightly boosted, but at the same time pretty comfortable treble. This signature sometimes is referenced as U-shaped. I call it V-shaped. In my opinion, V and U-shape, it's synonyms, but probably there is some difference, I don't know. Anyway, bass is accented. Accent is not big, but it's made both on the mid and deeper layers of bass. Subjectively, I'm not a huge fan of this tuning. I prefer a bit more rolled off deep bass, but I understand that a lot of people like present deep bass, so I'm trying to remove my subjectiveness here from the equation, and in terms of overall performance, bass is balanced. It's not the fastest and most detailed, but at the same time, it's not some kind of sloppy, lazy, low frequencies. It's normal in terms of texturing, and it has a decent amount of small nuances and details. They are not highlighted, but when necessary to represent some realistic timbre-rich instruments, this earphones performs nice. And this overall smoothness of representation on the low frequency sounds pretty engaging with many genres and styles. It's not the most tight and impactful bass, but it sounds pretty pleasant with good sense of presence. So let's look at examples. First one is Moonshine by Caravan. Nice, catchy bass tune with a lot of energy, and these earphones build a nice foundation. They have nice weight to perform this oomph necessary for the low frequencies. And when it comes to some more technical low frequencies, also pretty nice. Maybe not the most nuances accented representation, but still double bass sounds pretty realistic and lifelike, enjoyable, and with a proper size and body. Mid frequencies I enjoyed the most. They are really well balanced between details and dynamics. So both micro contrast and macro dynamics are implemented pretty well. No artificial coloring, no attempts to like boost pseudo detalization or to boost emotions to give you like more impressive dynamics and representation. So overall, nice balance, really close to what's in the record. They are not super critical for the quality of record, but of course better material will give you a better result. There is a slight boost in the upper mid frequencies, but not too much. For me, it doesn't sound too shouty or too aggressive. But when it's necessary, it represents aggression pretty nice. Imaginary stage is not huge, but above average, both in width and in depth, with nice layers separation. So let's proceed to the examples. First one is Web of Lies by Ayreon. Nice, lightweight, almost acoustic track. For me, it sounds like predecessor of the upcoming Gentle Storm album. Both female and male vocals are great, emotional. These earphones deliver them well. Violin, guitar, all represented really nicely and really coherent in terms of overall representation. Everything like mixes and blends together in the whole tune. And Ephel Duath, the picture, experimental avant-garde death metal, probably it's Igor before the Igor. Of course, foundation here is black metal, but it has a lot of instruments, vocals, and unusual ideas, tunes, and so on. So, for me, a bit overwhelming floor drum for this track, but the rest is really nice. All aggression, guitars, extreme vocal, every percussion, everything sounds nice. Probably it's because I don't used to this deep bass, and for a lot of people it will be really nice because you're getting this sense of the bass drum kick, but a bit of subjective taste I can express here too. And in terms of treble, I've seen in some reviews that people call them like treble shy or lacking treble. Actually, I'm a fan of high frequencies, but for me, they don't lack treble. They don't put a lot of additional energy into the high frequencies, and that's true. But at the same time, highs here have a nice extension, noticeably above average. Maybe not the most extended, like most layer treble, but still, for me, it's pretty nice. They are accented in terms of quantity, but it's done to balance low frequencies. And at the same time, they don't sound shouty, too aggressive, too forward. So even for the fan of treble as I am, it's more than enough. Probably, of course, subjectively, I prefer more of high frequencies, but it's subjective. So without my subjective preferences, for me, it's enough to build like a good imaginary stage to give this sense of airness and so on. But it's more for those who prefer treble slightly on the safer side of things. And also really good attacks and decays, I must admit. So, since I've been loving you by Led Zeppelin, nice amount of high frequencies to make sound airy. Not like absolutely crystal clear and boosted with high frequency energy, but still enough of airiness even for me. And Slow Love Slow by Nightwish, both female and male vocals with a lot of overtones, nice accompanying instruments, lot of things that goes to the high frequency area. Also, subjectively, I'd prefer more, but still pretty nice quantity and good quality. In terms of pairing, they don't require anything stellar, but some nice dongle deck or player will be a huge plus for them. You can try, for example, to compensate their high frequencies by selecting some bright source, but in my opinion, it's better if some earphones is not 100% matching your taste. It's better to select some other earphones that will satisfy you than getting something that won't be perfect choice for you and try to push them towards that direction. But it's still my subjective opinion. In terms of comparisons, the God Odyssey 2 that I reviewed recently, they are also trying this safe type of tuning, but they have less weight on the low frequencies and they are slightly more extended in the treble area. FIO FH15 more tighter on the low frequencies, slightly more weighter on the mids, and more forward and energetic on the high frequencies. So, who are these earphones for? If you want elevated bass, nice detailed mids, and comfortable type of treble, it can be a great choice for you, and you definitely can consider these earphones. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a great day.